Welcome back everyone, Oz here, and today I've got some r/AmITheDevil for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading the posts, giving you my own opinion, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Posted to r/off my chest. I want my friend's husband so badly. I had a fling with my friend's husband before they met, and he stopped meeting up with me after they went out on their first date. He was upfront with my friend about us, and she initially ended things with him, but ended up giving him a chance, and they've been together ever since. Now, almost 8 years in, she basically has a dream life. Good-looking and in shape husband who is a really good husband and father who works a high-level job and makes a lot, and loves her unconditionally, and spoils her in every way possible, and has literally saved her life at one point. She stays at home and looks after their 2 kids, and she's pregnant with their 3rd. It's really easy to see that she's absolutely in love with him. Like, even if we're at her place having a coffee and just catching up and he gets home, she'll make a beeline straight for him just to give him a hug and kiss. A little while ago, my friend hosted a small girls' movie night at her place with some friends, and the whole evening, her husband looked after their kids the whole evening and put them to bed without disturbing us even once. I had to take a phone call at one point and went into another room and look out the window, and he was sitting beside their pool, shirtless, reading a book and smoking from a hookah pipe. It was probably one of the hottest things I've ever seen, and the first time I saw all of his tattoos. Ever since, I haven't been able to stop thinking about him. I've been thinking about how we used to hook up before he met my friend, and I want him so badly. I don't want an affair. I want my friend's life. Fully. I want her husband. Hell, I'll even adopt their kids and raise them as my own. I know it would be destroying a marriage and a family and probably all my friendships, but I don't care. It would be worth it in my eyes. It sucks to say, but it's the truth, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's so hard feeling like this. So obviously the devil here is this person is, fantasizing about destroying someone's family because they're jealous. I worry that OP could become a dangerous individual with enough time and if her fantasies get the best of her. I worry that OP could become a stalker and terrorize this poor family and end up writing anonymous secret admirer letters to the husband as an attempt to woo him over. Like, don't get me wrong, it probably sucks to see the guy that you used to hook up with and you probably had a thing for end up leaving you and your little hookup spree for someone else and they now live the perfect life that you would have wanted. Yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, you gotta move on. It's been 8 years. And they're very happy together. You should be happy for them. And chances are, this is just a crush. Hopefully it'll pass. Hopefully. Am I the asshole for dressing up as Batman for Halloween? I, 34 male, am married to my wife, 34 female, and we have 2 kids together. Every year, my wife's family does a family theme for Halloween that we all dress up as. This year's theme is Barbie, any Barbie movie that there is. And my wife decided we would do Princess Charm School, since it was her favorite Barbie movie growing up. I hate this theme, and would rather go as something more manly that wouldn't embarrass me in front of my neighbors and friends. After work one night, I stopped at the store and got myself a Batman costume instead. I let my wife believe I was going as Barbie's love interest from the movie and would arrive later to the party, because I was working late. When in all reality, I was getting ready to wear the Batman costume. When I arrived at the party, my wife's sisters happened to meet me by the door and got mad at me for wearing this costume. I explained that I didn't like the theme, so I chose my own. At that point, my wife had found us and started yelling about how selfish I was and how this is the one time a year that she gets to let loose and have fun with the theme. She told me to leave and I drove to a friend's house and am spending the night out of anger. All of her family is blowing up my phone, telling me how selfish I am, and calling me every name in the book. I blocked them and told my wife I needed a couple days to cool down. As I thought about it more, I could see how I was being a little selfish and should have stuck with the theme, but I don't think I'm the asshole for sticking to my own beliefs and having a free will in this relationship. Reddit, am I the asshole? It's not just the Batman costume, dude, it's that you lied to your wife and said that you were gonna go along with the theme when you didn't. I always love titles like these because it starts out so innocent as just, am I the asshole for dressing up as Batman? And turns out to be, yeah, I lied to my wife and embarrassed her in front of her family because I didn't want to be dressed as a Barbie love interest because it's not manly enough. Dude, you had the opportunity to make your wife's childhood dream come true and you squandered it for Batman. That's on you, buddy. It's also really disingenuous to say you're sticking to your own beliefs when you're not sticking to beliefs, you just were afraid of not dressing manly enough to impress your friends and neighbors. So, the opinion of your friends and neighbors means more to you than your wife having a good time, huh? Am I the asshole for not washing plates? I'm 21, I live in the dorms of my university and came back just for my mom's birthday last weekend. I had brought her a $250 air fryer because she keeps complaining how her current one is old and crusty. It's a gift I genuinely put a lot of thought and money into. On the day of my mom's birthday, she just seems to be angry at everyone. My dad, my younger brother, and me. She just was passive-aggressive all throughout, but she didn't really show it until we started sharing the gift. When she opened my gift, she didn't have a reaction. I asked if she liked it, and she just said, "I wonder why you didn't get your dad a lawnmower on his birthday." So I took that she didn't like the gift. She's not an angry person, so I don't understand why she was so upset on one of the days she's supposed to be the happiest on. Plus, I feel like even if I didn't get the best gift for her, she can at least show just a little bit of gratitude. At least that's what I would have done when people get me gifts. I told her that just because it's her birthday doesn't give her the right to treat the people around her like shit. She asked if this was really her birthday because it didn't feel like her birthday. My dad tried to mediate between the two of us, but she just screamed at him and started screaming at all of us for not clearing and washing the plates the previous night. I don't understand why she would allow this one thing to ruin her entire birthday, and if she had asked me to wash the dishes, I would have washed them. I had washed my individual plate. She went to the guest room to lie down, and ever since then, she's been sleeping in the guest room. She barely leaves the room and hasn't helped around the house. My brother, 15 years old, has been feeling overwhelmed and sad because of the state of the house and my mom. Does one instance of not washing plates on her birthday really need such a visceral reaction? I just don't understand my mom at the moment. Maybe the internet can give me some perspective. So, being as charitable as I possibly can, my guess would be is you missed out on a lot going on while you were at university. Sounds like your mom has a lot going on, and she is definitely overwhelmed and overworked, and things aren't exactly as peachy as you might assume they could be. But I'm just gonna tell you this, it's not just about the dishes. There's so much more going on. Plus, not to mention, dude, saying that she should at least show a bit of gratitude and implying that she's required to be happy on her birthday, and there's just a lot of uncomfortable entitlement implications with those comments, and not to mention, it took me a little bit to realize, but I think the reason why your mother brought up, "I wonder why you didn't get your dad a lawnmower on his birthday." What did you get your dad for his birthday? Did you get him something cool? Did you get him like a drone or maybe something interesting? Because I can't help but wonder if your mom sees that dad gets a bunch of new cool shit while she just gets stuff that just aids her in the kitchen. A kitchen which she doesn't get help in. That is a bit of a theory on my end, but that's one of the first thing that comes to mind when I, think about the lawnmower comment in a bit more detail. Posted to r/AmITheAsshole. Am I the asshole? Pranked a colleague and I think she's overreacting. This has been bothering me all afternoon. My friends told me to try posting the situation here for an unbiased opinion. I've been at my current job for about 7 months now. I didn't meet this coworker, Jill, until about 4 months because she was out on maternity leave. I have never really liked her. She talks a lot and is always asking personal questions. I think she likes me, but she's married with a kid, so it's a hard no from me. She finally got the hint about 2 months ago and has left me alone besides work duties, which she still nags, but whatever. The office apparently has a tradition of doing fun pranks during October for Halloween, like wrapping a cubicle in plastic wrap, hiding candy in odd places, a plastic skeleton that gets moved around each day, just funny, harmless stuff like that. I decided to prank Jill. I went and got a bunch of those fake spider webs and some plastic spiders. I also got one of those large spiders with repositionable legs to put in her chair and make it look like it's working. I got in early today to get it all set up before anyone else came in, then went to the break room to hang out until the start time. So she finally comes in and I can hear the scream from all the way in the break room. I go over to see her reaction, except she's not there anymore and 2 of our colleagues are taking down the webs and spiders from her cubicle. They demand to know if I'm the one who put it up, then start yelling at me once I say I did. They tell me it was rude and uncalled for because Jill has arachnophobia and had to be taken to the bathroom to calm down. Okay, but how was I supposed to know she was scared of spiders? Plus, it's just plastic spiders, nothing to cry over. I told them I would apologize to Jill to get them to calm down and help them clean the rest of it up. I didn't see Jill again until lunch, which is weird because her cubicle is next to mine. I caught her in the break room and apologized for scaring her with my prank, and she sort of just shrugged off my apology, which ticked me off. This is where I might have been an asshole. I told her to grow a pair and not to be so sensitive next time a little spider came her way. She just gave me this weird look and told me she has and she wouldn't recommend it. Like, what is that supposed to mean? Anyway, I tried to go back to my lunch, but my boss called me into the office and suggested I take the rest of the day off. Guys, she went to HR over this silly, stupid little prank. So now I'm sitting at home worried about my job. I know I shouldn't have told her to stop being sensitive that way, but she's definitely overreacting by taking something so little to HR. Am I the asshole or is she? So this starts out with OP convinced Jill is flirting with them, despite the fact that Jill just happened to come in after maternity leave and saw a new coworker sharing a cubicle space with her and just tried to get to know her coworker, and then realized after, she was kind of blown off, oh, okay, he doesn't want to really get to know each other, so I'm not going to press it anymore. Then a few months later for Halloween, her desk is decorated in one of her phobias, and she tries her best to get over it, does a decent job of it, and tries to move on like normal, and the same coworker is based like, get over it and grow a pair. Like, it also doesn't help that if you did actually get to know Jill, you might have actually known about the arachnophobia, but that's not really part of the problem. You didn't prank Jill for a hee ha ha, you pranked Jill because you didn't like her and wanted to make her day worse. And according to his comments, the asking personal questions was literally just things orientated around, oh, how was your weekend? What'd you do this weekend? Hey, did you have snacks in the break room? That was apparently Jill flirting with him. Originally posted to r/off my chest. I think I just wrecked my relationship. I really messed up. Me and my girlfriend were in a fight. I don't even remember what started it now, but it got heated so quickly, and in a moment of pure stupidity, I said to her that I couldn't be with the other women because they're out of my league. I screwed up. She's gorgeous, and the last thing I'd ever want is for her to feel like she isn't enough. It was dumb, brainless comment, and it's tearing her up inside. Can't say I blame her. Now she's pulling away, and I can tell I hurt her way more than I realized. I've tried explaining, apologizing, but it's like I keep making things worse. I feel like I just broke her trust and I can't fix it. Edit 1, I should have given you the context. We've been together for over a year, and honestly, we've never had a big fight, so this was our first real one. It all started when she, out of the blue, asked why I'm with her. She began arguing about how she's been feeling ugly lately and started to attack me, accusing me of having second thoughts about our relationship and saying she needs to leave before I do. She's always been really OCD level, self-conscious about her looks, even so early in our relationship. She would joke about how neither of us could really score anyone else and that we settled for each other. But in the heat of the moment, I guess I unconsciously threw that back at her and I didn't mean to. Anyway, I just came back home and she's gone. Some of her stuff is gone too. No note, nothing. I fucked up, plain and simple. Okay. You realized you fucked up, so there's no point in kicking you while you're down. Yeah, you really did drop the ball. In the heat of the moment in an argument, you were focused on walking away from that being the victor of the fight, and you used something that would ensure the victory, but at what cost? That kind of damage can't be undone. And anyone who's watching, by the way, if you're ever in a fight with your significant other, and for some reason you feel like you have to win the fight and want to say some really out-of-pocket shit, think about what might happen afterwards and if you're comfortable with that kind of damage being done. Because in the moment, yeah, that kind of anger can feel good. But it is never worth it. We're all human. We all fuck up and we all make mistakes. That's just part of the experience. But this time, buddy, I don't know what you can do to recover that. Genuinely. You used one of her biggest insecurities against her, and I don't know how you can come back from that. In the end, it's her choice to forgive you. You can't force that. I would recommend putting it out there that you did fuck up and you recognize that, but at the end of the day, no matter what you say to try and apologize for it, you still said it. You said it at the heat of the moment, and that's going to hold more truth to her than any kind of apology might ever hope to accomplish. My guess would be is that when she made jokes about those things, she was probably hoping for comfort and hoping for things that would be said to her that would put her at ease. You fucked up, buddy. Big time. And you can't be trying to hide behind it by saying it was an unconscious decision. Unconscious or not, you still said it. Now you gotta own that shit. And it's up to her to forgive you. Because from now on, no matter what, all she's gonna pretty much think about your relationship is that you settled. And not that you love her for her. And that's a difficult barrier to break down, my dude. Am I the asshole for making a post about my daughter's favorite celebrity being rude to us? My daughter and I were recently on vacation. We spent the day in an area that's known to have a lot of rich/famous people, and towards the end of the day, we saw one of my daughter's favorite celebrities. We'll call her A, walking out of a store. My daughter ran to the store, but when she got near A, she was stopped by A's security. They said that A's there with her daughter for her daughter's birthday and wants to focus on her daughter. My daughter was very upset because she's a big fan of A for a long time. So she tried again for a picture but was turned away. My daughter was crushed. So later that night I made a post talking about my experience with A, how she wouldn't let anyone go near her and her daughter, the fact that her security was rude, and her not willing to stop for a couple of seconds for a picture. I understand it's her daughter's birthday, but a 1-minute interaction with a fan isn't going to ruin her day. And if it does, that girl needs to learn the world doesn't revolve around her. The post ended up getting a lot of attention, and people actually said my daughter and I were being entitled for expecting A to interrupt her daughter's birthday for everyone that wants a picture. My husband also saw the post and said he couldn't believe that I would bash her for trying to spend the day with her daughter. I'm not trying to bash her for spending the day with her daughter, but she wouldn't be where she is without her fans. So I think she at least owes it to them to take a picture. Am I the asshole for making a post about A? Oh boy. Something if you give a mouse a cookie. I've never been a fan of the idea that just because you become a star or a celebrity that you're no longer entitled to have a life of privacy, that you're now at the beck and call of anyone who claims to be a fan or even your biggest fan. She was out trying to have a good time with her daughter on her birthday, and you seemed like you felt like you were entitled to not only have a picture, but that she was being disrespectful or rude because she wouldn't devote time away from your daughter for a photo. And it's never just a photo because, as other people pointed out, if one person sees her taking a photo with your daughter, well, hold on, you took a photo with her. Why can't you take a photo with me? Then rinse and repeat, and it escalates and gets worse and worse, and now she's no longer spending her time with her daughter, but trying to escape all of the quote-unquote adoring fans who think they're entitled to have a photo with her. Also, just as a general comment, she needs to learn that the world doesn't revolve around her. That line was peak irony right there, not gonna lie. Originally posted to r/AmITheAsshole. Am I the asshole for keeping my stepkids home from daycare without the parents' permission? My husband has 2 boys from a previous relationship, 3 and 4. We get them every other week and I adore them. In the last few months, they've been crying about going to daycare. They are so little it breaks my heart every single time. But his ex doesn't want me to spend more time with them than she does. And also my husband wanted them to keep their schedule for stability. But he said that as long as I dropped them off at 9, I could pick them up early. I did this for a while, but one morning the older one was begging me to stay home, and I was just in tears and couldn't do it. So I called the daycare to tell them that they were sick, and I kept them home for the entire week. I felt so guilty, but I also told them not to say anything to Dad. They were such happy kids for the entire week, and I loved having them with me. Anyway, the daycare must have ended up telling the mother that they were absent. When my husband picked them up from her, she asked if they were sick. That's when it unraveled. She's extremely mad at me, and even worse than my husband being mad at me is he blames the boys, and taking it out on them even though it was my fault. And I feel like just refusing to take— whoa. What the fuck is that escalation? I feel like just refusing to take care of them ever again. It's all my fault and I obviously can't be trusted with them, so not my responsibility to be involved. She can have all the custody. I'm literally done. Holy fucking shit. You went from like actually being sympathetic and I was gonna tell an endearing story about my mother and stepmother, and now it's like, oh my god, what the fuck is that victim complex shit? Holy hell. That shit fucking blindsided me and I was genuinely curious of how this ended up on r/AmITheDevil. Like, yeah, she made some definite oversteps as the step-parent, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it's really sweet to see a step-parent that's actually this involved in their kids' lives, and I was kind of happy about that and ready to be like, yeah, you're maybe making a few oversteps when it comes to biological parents who are still in their lives, but I'm very happy to see that you love them this much, but then the edit is like, so woe is me. I guess I'm just never gonna love them again. Like, good god, what in this Scooby-Doo reveal was that shit? Holy hell. Originally posted to r/relationship advice, I'm 26 male, brother, who's 21 male, is holding my fiance's 25 female views against me. How can I get him to judge me individually? My brother and I were extremely close growing up. I've always looked out for him like a big brother should, and I cried at his high school graduation. Our relationship took a turn for the worse when he met the love of my life. My fiancée is the most beautiful and wonderful woman in the world. I love her dearly. I'm so excited to call this woman my wife. Now, here's what I'll say. Everyone has baggage, and she's unequivocally a bigot about the community, if you know what I mean. My brother is a part of the community and has completely drifted away. I find myself being left on red, no phone calls, etc. He'll speak at family events, but that's it. I confronted him about it, and apparently he thinks my fiance's views are a reflection of me. I've challenged my fiance's views and called it out. I consider myself a strong ally for the community, and it's just unfair to hold the views of someone else against me. Yes, but you're marrying them, dude! Oh my god! The company you keep. Ugh. Hey little bro, you know how I love you so much and care for you so deeply? Anyways, the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with fucking hates you and thinks you're a fucking blight on this planet. What do you mean you're not happy with me? Also, you can't really call yourself an ally if you won't even say what community it is. What, are you shy of something? Are you embarrassed by your brother's identity? You can't even say it out loud? What is it? You made this bed, you've chosen to lie in it, you gotta deal with the consequences. If you really want to marry this woman and she's worth sacrificing the relationship with your brother, that's your decision. Sounds like you've made it. You can't be upset with your brother for not being happy with the fact that you're marrying someone who fucking hates him. Am I the asshole for serving boxed mac and cheese for a get-together with friends? I invited some of my, 33 female, friends over last week as we hadn't seen each other in a while. Everyone goes their own way and has kids and jobs. I was really excited because it really has been a while and it's been a rough time for everyone. I didn't really think too hard about what to eat or anything because my mom always said, when you do stuff like this, it isn't about the food. It's about spending time with loved ones and, well, drinking too. I had a few boxes of mac and cheese and some chicken nuggets made up. And of course, we had beer for everyone too. So when it came time for everyone to eat, I told them to grab a bowl. They acted like this was really weird and it wasn't something we all eat all the time. They said it was weird for me to invite everyone to dinner, but at the same time to serve kids' food to them. I don't really know what to say because to me, it isn't kids' food. I eat it all the time and I'm 33. 2 of them had refused to even eat and said they hadn't eaten chicken nuggets since they were kids, and made dramatic icky faces about it. I guess I'm asking, am I the asshole for serving the box mac to everyone? I thought it was about us being together and catching up, but I guess they expected a fancy meal from me. I feel really sad this went this way, and I don't really feel like I understand. Am I the asshole? Oh, by the way, the box mac wasn't Kraft, it was Annie's. Okay, so full disclosure, my first thought was I don't really see too much wrong with this if I'm gonna be honest. Like, yeah, it's a little weird that it's mac and cheese and chicken nuggets, but, you know, that's fine. I scrolled down and one of the first comments was, I think OP might be autistic, and then, fuck. So disregard any opinion I might have on this one, okay? Because apparently I don't know what's going on, but if I had to guess from absorbing some social norms, when you invite someone to dinner, I guess they're probably expecting something a bit more interesting or fancy that isn't just chicken nuggets and mac and cheese. And the bottom disclaimer of saying the box back wasn't Kraft, it was Annie's. It's just the cherry on top. As if that changes everything. Granted, and there will be a comment war about this, Annie's is objectively better than Kraft mac and cheese. So personally, I think I understand OP's confusion here. This is also just an incredibly low stakes Am I the Devil, but it was too good to pass up. Don't forget, this is brought to you by GamerSupps. Use code ODDS at checkout. It's basically a caffeine powder that you put in your water, and I actually really like it. I use this on a daily basis. Don't forget that every purchase you make using code ODDS directly supports the channel. And if you want a personal recommendation from me, I would either recommend the Soda Pressing Pear or Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are currently my favorite flavors. And as a note, once we sell a certain amount of stuff, I get my own flavor and my own cup, and you all know I'm gonna choose some degenerate shit that's gonna make their PR team squirm. My goal is to make them regret partnering with me. So please, use code ODDS at checkout to make my dream come true of making a PR team squirm.